Coronation Street legend Sally Metcalfe makes her return to the cobbles in next week's episodes of the ITV soap, but according to official spoilers, her actions could end up costing Tim Metcalfe his life. Sally, played by Sally Dinover, has been living away from Coronation Street in recent weeks as she has been staying with her sister Gina Seddon, Connie Hyde. Whilst she's been away, Elaine Jones, Paula Wilcox, has been caring for her son Tim, Joe Duttine, who has been recovering from a triple heart bypass operation. The mother of one has been doing her best to make sure no harm has come to her son, but in upcoming episodes of the ITV soap, Sally could cause his death as she could disrupt his recovery in the most significant way. The drama continues in next week's installments of the weeknight serial drama as Sally makes her return from Newcastle and her husband is over the moon to see her. More than anything, he has missed getting passionate with her in the bedroom, and this is the first thing on his mind as she walks through the door. Although she is eager to head upstairs, she tells her spouse he is almost at the end of his 6-week ban from having sex after surgery. Sally explains they will have to wait a little while longer to ensure he doesn't suffer any repercussions from ignoring the doctor's advice. However, he is struggling not to have a passionate encounter with his wife, and so he encourages her to break the rules a day early. Sally doesn't need telling twice as she begins to passionately kiss her husband, but their plans are halted as Elaine returns home. The mother of one has been very stringent about following the rules, and she will be furious to discover her son wants to have sex. Of course, she will do everything she can to ensure Sally is kept away from her husband for the foreseeable until the 6 weeks is up. Fed up with being bossed around by her mother-in-law, Sally could decide she is going to have sex with her husband regardless of the ban. In a new theory generated by Express.co.uk based on the official spoilers, the soap stalwart could wait until Elaine is out of the house again to try and get passionate with Tim. As the pair finally make it to the bedroom, the atmosphere could become more steamy as they can't keep their hands off each other. However, becoming overexcited, Tim could suddenly collapse before the couple go any further as the consequences of breaking the rules kick in. Although Sally would ring for an ambulance to get her husband seen immediately, it could be too late as he dies in his wife's arms. Elaine would be horrified to see what she has walked in on and would blame Sally for killing her son, taking him away from her forever. The soap stalwart would feel an immense sense of guilt, and her situation would get any better as her mother-in-law could call the police on her. When the officers begin to question her, they could understand very quickly it was an accident and no one outright killed Tim. The case would be closed immediately as the authorities would tell Elaine her son's cause of death was completely accidental. As she confronts Sally about Tim's death, Elaine could explain she only wanted him to follow the rules because she was desperate to spend time with him. Having not been a part of his life for so long, she wanted every second to last forever, but now she wouldn't be able to do that anymore. Will the two women put their differences aside and put on a united front as they bid an emotional farewell to the man they both loved? Speaking with Express.co.uk and other press, executive producer Ian MacLeod teased what was to come from this storyline between Sally and Tim. The soap boss said, "There's a massive story for the Metcalfes, which kicks off at the start of January. It stems from a New Year's resolution which seems quite innocuous at the time and very quickly turns into something fairly life-altering for one of that household. Then it turns into a story that I don't think I've ever seen done on a soap in anything other than a glancing way. We're dragging an incredibly prevalent issue out into the daylight and pointing the camera at it. Some people might find the subject matter a bit awkward, but it's incredibly potent in that family. What starts off small ends up being this colossal threat to what Tim and Sally think they know about each other, themselves and the nature of their relationship and what that might look like for the rest of their lives together," Ian continued. "It's massive. I love Tim and Sally as they feel like an iconic Corrie couple. Every so often somebody comes to a story conference and pitches something that splits them up and sends them off with different people. It always starts a massive argument, as it did when we talked about doing it with Fizz and Tyrone. Tim and Sally feel right together and are peas in a pod, so that's why this story will matter to our audience. There'll be a huge level of investment in whether they can get over this hurdle or not.